I had never even considered joining the military until an Air Force recruiter came to talk my senior year of high school. That day changed my life forever because it was that day that I decided to join the Air Force. Joining the Air Force became one of the greatest, yet one of the best decisions I have made in my life. In March of 1988, I was on the first airplane I had ever been on in my life, on my way to basic training at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas. After basic training, I went to Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi, Mississippi. Besides learning stereotypical military tasks like marching, I also learned to be a computer maintenance technician. Instead of learning things like biology, math, and history like most college kids were doing at the same time, I was going to school 8 hours a day for 9 months to learn how to fix computers. After tech school at Keesler Air Force Base, I went to Sacramento, California, and was stationed at Mather Air Force Base. In 1989, I took 30 days off, as military members earn 30 days of vacation a year, and went to Hawaii, Guam, Philippines, Japan, and Korea, just because I could. It was an experience I will never forget. At Mather Air Force Base, I met my husband, who was also active duty Air Force. We were married after dating only 6 months, as I had orders to go to the Middle East during Desert Storm. Little did we know then that 3 days before I was supposed to leave, my orders would be canceled, as I was not trained on the equipment they thought I was. We had 2 weddings, the first by a Justice of the Peace in California, and the second 6 months later in a church in my hometown of Amboy, Illinois. 2 weddings, 2 marriage certificates from 2 different states, and only one person besides the groom and I that attended both weddings. Not only did I meet my husband in the military, but I found out I was pregnant after getting stationed at Hill Air Force Base in Utah, and had my daughter on the base. I do not know about today, but when I was in, the military allowed a mother to get out after having a baby. It did not matter if it was the first one or not. After the birth of my daughter in 1994, I chose to get out as I was considered to be mobile and could be shipped out at any time. I thought I could go to work for 8 hours a day, but did not want to leave my new daughter for a year or 2 at a time. I sometimes regret getting out when I did, especially now that I'm older and have friends retiring when I could have done the same thing after 20 years of service at the age of 38. I now have a daughter who is a senior in high school, and she now wants to join the Air Force after graduating next June. So joining the U.S. Air Force was one of the greatest and best decisions I ever made in my life. I cannot describe all of the things the military did for me and all of the opportunities I've had because of the military. I traveled to places most people could only imagine, and I met some really incredible people who I still consider to be my friends today. Met my husband, I had my daughter, got my teeth straightened, and had a lot of my college paid for because of the military. I can only hope that the U.S. Air Force gives my daughter as many opportunities and adventures as it gave to me.